So let's begin with globalization and how it has affected cultural diversity. And to answer this question right away, we think that globalization has mostly diminished cultural diversity. And for this, we're going to look at the case study of an indigenous tribe located in Bolivia, which is called Tsimane. It is the third largest ethnic group in the Bolivian lowlands, and this tribe is known for using plants, traditional plants, for various cultural purposes. However, there has been a decrease in the use of these plants, and two surveys that were done in the years 2000 and 2009 prove this. The following graph shows the average plant uses within some age groups, and even though it can be a little bit confusing, the general results show that between the years 2000 and 2009, Tsimane adults experienced a net decrease in the report of plant uses, ranging from 9% from the female subsample to 26% from the subsample of people living close to towns, equivalent to 1 to 3% per year. Our second case study is about Native Americans living in North America and how they have had to adapt their traditions to a lifestyle that is more suitable. A census that took place in the year 2016 revealed that out of the 2.7 million Native Americans, 73% spoke only English. And even though it could be argued that globalization has caused migration to increase, thus increasing cultural diversity, there's still the phenomenon where populations tend to adapt their traditions to a more suitable way of life. In other words, they often tend to leave behind their own customs and replace them for the predominant culture, therefore killing the new cultures that come into the country. And now we're going to proceed to talk about the effect of globalization in the developing world. We can say that globalization has brought the opportunity for many countries to trade with each other without some of the limitations that there were in the past, as transportation, communication, and manufacturing are getting more efficient. Moreover, the emergence of free trade thanks to globalization can reduce tariffs and trade barriers, increasing international trade. Further, this also allows for countries to specialize in those economic activities they have a comparative advantage on. This, together with the increase of FDI, has allowed several developing nations to boost their economy. A perfect example of how a country can take advantage of free trade is China. China, by 1991, had an economy mostly based in agriculture and the extraction of raw materials, representing 59.7% of the total labor force at this time. However, with some reforms that took place in this country, FDI started to increase in the country, which significantly boosted the economy.
Its workforce has been gradually moving from the primary to the secondary sector. With this, China has achieved an overall annual GDP increase of 10% since 1978.
And it could pass the United States GDP by 2030.
Indicating a clear development and transition into an NIC. However, due to the poor labor conditions and payments, most of China's population hasn't been able to share the benefits of the ongoing success of their country.
The year 2000, 65.6% of the total labor force worked at less than $3 a day.
Nonetheless, in most recent years, China has been experiencing a considerable restructuring of the economy, which comprises an improvement in working conditions as well as a significant development of the tertiary sector.
However, China hasn't been able to solve all of its social problems, but it could do in the future. Our second case study is going to be Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country that has experienced a rapid economic growth in recent years, thanks to the fact that many multinational corporations have moved their assets into the country. However, it has also suffered of many of the poor working conditions as China. In fact, in the year 2005, 90.1% of the total labor force lived at less than $3 a day. And the situation got even worse when the Tazarine Fashions fire and the Rana Plaza collapse took place. Thankfully, some changes have been taking place so as to improve this situation. To sum up, for the first question, it could be said that in most cases, globalization has diminished cultural diversity by spreading certain cultures that rapidly become dominant and eradicate or weaken smaller cultures. On the other hand, globalization has brought an unprecedented economic success to some of the most underdeveloped regions of the world, with the cost of violating the rights of many workers. Nevertheless, more attention has recently been given to this matter. Still, there is much work left to be done.